Hi, this is Callie Wise. I'm a student success manager with TNE campus, and I'm doing this recording about our about finding and ordering or buying your textbooks for our TNE campus classes. So I'm going to do this real quick. Hopefully, hit some of the high points about getting books for your classes. One of the things I mentioned, or a couple of things I mentioned in the previous videos, if you watched those, was the fact that our books or ordered by our course developers and they're sent to the bookstore directly. So every semester, course developers that create our courses, they let the bookstore know that they are changing or updating books or keeping the same books. So the information that you have in our virtual bookstores is accurate and correct information. So you should know that what you see there is accurate and correct. And that's why we encourage students to go to our virtual bookstore to look for the books that they need for their courses. That's the go-to place. So that's why I want to show you where to go to get the books, to look for them, and buy what you need. Okay. So we'll go ahead and bring that up, and I'll share the screen and show you what you need to do. Now, there's a couple different places you can do this. You can start either here, which I've shown before in a couple of videos with the TNE Campus Go to .info site. There's a link up at the top with the bookstore link that will go directly to the page. You can go under student resources here for students. There's a link under our student resources for that as well. Or you can go to your course page. When you log in, you'll see over on the right-hand side, there will be a link that says TNE Campus Bookmarks. And even inside your class, there will be another link as well for the bookstore. But there's a link over here that says Virtual Bookstore. So if you want to click on that link, it'll open up the page for the bookstore. And up at the very top, there's the link bkstr.com/TNE Campus Store /home. Again, that's bkstr.com/TNE Campus Store, two S's there, TNE Campus Store /home. So once you're on the bookstore website, there's two places you can actually get started. You can go up here to textbooks, or you can go down here into the middle of the page where it's already pre-populated with TNE Campus and the term that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here because if you click textbooks, it's going to take you to this spot anyway. So they'll take you to this page and it'll give you the option to put in department, which is the 4-letter code for the course. So like biology or ACCT for accounting or ENGL for English or whatever. And then the number code. This is not the 5-digit CRN number. It is the 4-digit 1010 for English or whatever, So we'll look at several of these and walk through different choices that you may encounter. One thing I want to mention is if you see something about things being out of stock, don't panic about things being out of stock. Simply text me or let me know, and we will get in touch with the course developer about that. And the course developer can be in touch with the publisher for the books that they're looking for and hopefully get a replacement or get an expedited shipment that they need to the bookstore. So if the course developer knows, then they can let the instructors know of the section that you're in and everybody will be informed. So just let me know and I'll pass that along to the course developer and everybody will be notified. All right, so let's look at a couple of the courses here. I already have one populated, so I can go ahead and look at that. And you'll notice that it doesn't specify a section because we get the same book across all of our courses. And that's the same with the type of information that's taught in our courses. The course developer creates the course, and it's the same across all sections. Okay, you're not going to get it taught differently, and different information, of course, is not going to be different depending on the session that you're in. Okay. Instructors are a little different. They may approach a course a different way, but as far as the type of whether you're going to have more tests in one class than another, or more assignments in one class than another, a biology class, for example. No, it's all going to be the same. All right, so click Find Materials, and you'll see what pops up. Okay, now this semester, particularly, we've had to input or note that to get a webcam. The reason why we have this semester is because of COVID and the requirement that people need to be testing at home. And this hasn't been an issue before, so we haven't required before. But if you already have a computer that has a webcam built in, and I'm talking about a desktop computer or a laptop computer that already has a webcam built in, or if you have an external webcam that you use, whether for gaming or whatever you may do, then you're okay. As long as it's pretty up to date, it's not too old, then you should be fine. You don't necessarily have to get the Logitech webcam that's said here. If you need one, you can get any kind of webcam, as long as it's pretty up to date. So again, noting that it's out of stock, you don't necessarily have to get the Logitech. It can be some other brand. This is just to let students know that they would need a webcam. This is for the proctoring of the exams because, again, you got to be able to proctor at home. You got to be able to do the exams at home through a virtual proctoring service, and they got to be able to see you doing the test. Now, so that'll be required. Down here, it's going to tell you that you got to choose one, two of the choices below. So click on the plus signs here to expand and list what the different options are. So choose one of these two. Now, anytime you see that there is something like a Learn Smart, like a access, this ACC means access code. This means that you've got something that you're going to have to access within your course, or code within your course. So you've got to, and I can't emphasize this enough, you need to buy this through the virtual bookstore. Other students try to buy this like through Amazon or Chegg or other websites. It just 98% of the time, those codes will not work. And you end up losing time, you lose money because you end up having to send things back and then you have to rebuy it through our virtual bookstore, and you may not get you may lose time completing assignments and things like that. You need to buy it through a bookstore to save you time and money. Now, the second option here with the loose leaf custom, that simply means that there is a unbound print version of the book. So you'll just get a loose leaf copy of the book that'll come with that as well. So you'll get the access code plus this loose leaf bound copy of the book, unbound copy of the book. So you can make a choice. Some people really like to have that loose leaf unbound copy because it's like having a printed book that they can go through and make comments and marks on and stuff like that. So that's one course. We'll go back and we'll pick another one. I'll show you some other options that you may see. Let's look up. I tried this one. Maybe saying, look at mine, look at mine. Okay, so this in Humanities 1010, you'll see that it says no books required. So that is the case. There are no books required in some of our classes. All the information is kind of built in. There are several courses that are like this. So if you run across this, don't say like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything. You're actually one of the lucky few that don't actually have to buy anything for their classes for books. So yay, you. So no books required. Or if it says see instructor, for the course or something like that, and it's just recommended that you buy something, then more than likely there's just a way that you can buy stuff in the course. Because there are, I can't remember which one it is, where you can go into the course and buy your books once you're in there. But it'll say, um, wait until you're in the course to buy your book, or wait till you're, or go to course first. I think it says go to course first. So you see go to course first, but there's still something to buy. And that means that you can buy that stuff once you're in the class. And actually, for that particular course, there are PDF options, free PDFs that you can download. So that's another lucky case. All right, let's look at another popular class, biology. Biologies are very, very popular. So that's why I look at those. This is actually the example of Biology 2010. We go to class before buying and OpenStax. There is a hardcover option that you can buy or whatever, but all this is going to be in your class, so you can get the PDF download of that. And you can either get a Kindle version or an iBook version. You can get that kind of option too. So there's several options, or you can just buy an actual physical book. So all that's going to be available once you're actually in the class. You don't even have to buy it now. And the good news is if you're planning on taking the 2020 with us especially, and not, this doesn't relate to your other school, but if you're going to take it with us, same thing applies. It'll apply in the fall as well. Okay. Yeah, Study English 1010, that's also one that people look up a lot. Now, this is a situation where there's actually several different things you can purchase here. And you'll notice that several of these are actually just listed as, they're all required, but some of them are mentioned just as paperback. If you see this mentioned just as paperback or just as hardcover, hardback, that means it's just a physical book, just a regular, ordinary book. And if that's the case, you can go take that ISBN number, go to search it up somewhere. Again, this is not something I would normally say, but you can go to Amazon or somewhere like that and take that ISBN number and look it up and maybe find something a little bit cheaper. Just make sure, be very, very, very careful. Make sure you get the correct author and the correct edition. You may want to make a little screenshot of this, take it, go to the other website, make sure you got the right thing. Because sometimes you search up on Amazon, it'll give you all kinds of other options. So double check your information, make sure you got the right edition and the right author. So let's see if there's anything else. Let's see, let's try one more. I'm trying to give some examples here that kind of cover most of the situations that students will find themselves in. And of course, there's always going to be some unique situations, but this should cover most of the circumstances. And I'm always happy to talk you through any choices you got, help you figure that out. So let's say for Math 1910, here you've got a required and a recommended. The required has the actual access card that you need, it's WebAssign. Now, in your course, WebAssign is going to be a whole nother website that you have to complete your work. And this is something I forewarn you about when it comes to doing your work. You may have a whole nother website you're doing your homework in and doing every work in. Don't neglect your D2L side of the class, because you may be getting emails there, you may be getting announcements and things like that. Some important stuff may be going on there, so make sure you check there on a regular basis. But you're going to have all your homework here with this web assignment. So you're going to log in there and set up your account and all that stuff there and use your access card in that space. A big important note about using access cards: when you get your card, don't try to go ahead and set it up before class starts. Wait until you're in your class and then try to set it up, because there's usually going to be some kind of link or a portal or something like that for you to go to and put that code in. That way it goes through your course. It has to be connected to your class. That's why you need to wait until you're actually in your course. Otherwise, there's no way for your class, the code to know to connect to your class, because it's got to connect to your grades, all the homework and everything. So you need to wait until you're in your class. So yeah, wait until you're there to try to set up your account, your code, and everything. If you end up in some kind of situation where it's like things aren't connected right, you've already done it, and then you try to get in your class, you try to use it again, and something's not right, just let us know, and we'll try to help you fix it, okay? But just know, if you get it, don't do anything yet. Wait till you're in your class, then try to use your access code, okay? There will be steps in your class to tell you what to do. All right. A little note here about the Brightwave format. That is basically if you're going to use the Brightwave format, it's basically sort of like Kindle. It's sort of like using Kindle, but it's on the Brightwave website. So it'll be an ebook style of reading. So if you get that, that's what that is. I'm trying to think of anything else about books. Now, once you get what you want, you've added it to your cart. Then all you got to do is come up here, sign in, and add your set up your account for your books for the bookstore like you normally do. Now, I get a lot of questions about using financial aid and paying with financial aid through the bookstore. We don't have any control over that. TNE campus doesn't do anything with financial aid. So if you want to use that, what I would recommend, because some schools will allow you to have vouchers and things of that nature, you may want to follow up with your student liaison at your campus and see if there's any options for you to be able to get something like that and use it at the bookstore, or contact the bookstore directly and see if there's a way to do that. So you may even want to start with the bookstore. So if you want to contact the bookstore, just go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and there's a link down here for contact. And there's email and a phone number. At the very bottom. Number. For those who can't see it, csvirtual@efollett.com. csvirtual@efollett.com. That's the email. Phone number for the bookstore is 800-381-5151. 800-381-5151. So I will contact them and see if there are different options for paying. I know some people still want to pay with check or something of that nature, or whatever, or pay. They're ready to pay over the phone if you're not paying with a card. So you may want to see about contacting them and try to pay that way. So those are a few things about the bookstore. Hopefully I've answered most of your questions about it. Kind of walk through some of these points about purchasing books. Now you'll notice there's a lot of FAQs here, return policies, rental policies, and things like that. I encourage you to read through these if you have questions, if you're not sure about some stuff. So I'll answer a lot of that as well. But of course, I'll always be here to answer any questions you may have too. Okay. Thank you so much, and take care.